tendency. So I wanted to share with you 5 tips that will help us, I believe, overcome that initial difficult part, because it is that first 30 to 60 days which is incredibly hard. And I'm going to give you a little bit of insight as to why that is. It's so hard to overcome that initial hurdle, but once you do and you start to actually see some result, see some accomplishment, then motivation kicks in. See, many of us want to start with motivation, but that's part of the reason you're going to fail, because motivation is a byproduct of accomplishment, of seeing results. So don't think you're going to start there. Don't confuse that. That's not even one of my tips, but there you go. You get a freebie. The 5 tips I'm going to give you, let's start with tip number 1, is make sure that you include a why. When you're laying out your goals, make sure you include a why, all right? If you're writing these down, I do encourage you to write your goals down so that you actually have a clear game plan, and you're more likely to do it and commit yourself to it. But include a why. I'll give you an example. Losing 15 to 20 pounds is not a why. That's a what. Going to the gym or some other form of fitness activity is not a why. That is a how. So you have to have a why. What's the reason for this particular goal that you've got, this undertaking? Why is that so important to you, right? And you have to really put some thought into that, articulate that. What's the benefit that you're going to get, or what harm are you going to avoid by attaining this goal? So very important. Really flush that out for yourself. It needs to be a really a strong reason, because what will likely happen is if you don't really know what that is, or have a strong good reason for that goal, then what's likely going to happen is, as you start to dwindle, as you start to lose the daily habit of doing the tasks, then you're going to just easily quit. You're going to buy into the excuse, well, it wasn't that important to me anyways. Oh, it doesn't really matter if I accomplish it or not. And you're going to buy into that excuse because you really haven't given much thought to the reason you're actually doing it. All right, so there you go. Tip number 1. I think that one's golden. Tip number 2 would be, make sure you identify your stumbling habits. All right, very crucial. This is actually the reason that you have not already attained this goal in the past. If you've attempted it in the past and you've failed, this is the reason, is your habits. They are a part of you. You don't give thought to them anymore. They're things that you now automatically do, and they are a big part of your life. The old you does not want to be replaced by the new you. And the old you is full of habits that are not easy to overcome. And especially in that initial 30, 60 days, you've not yet developed enough good habits, or you've not yet developed habits to replace these old habits. And so that makes it really difficult. You're going to just gravitate to what's natural, to what's automatic. Things like staying up late, bad habit. Bad food choices, bad habit. Choosing to be entertained more often than choosing to be educated or enlightened, bad habit. So many things, so many vices we've got. You've got to really identify what they are. Write them out, put them on your phone. Very, very important, because these are the things that are going to prevent you. So you've got to know, as you lay out your plan and you begin this journey, what are the things that I'm going to have difficulty with? Why am I going to not be able to finish more? It's these habits. They're going to get in the way. They're going to stop you. The old you does not want to be replaced. All right, so there you go. Tip number 2. Tip number 3 is take this goal, this large task, and reduce it to its micro form, to its most basic, simple element, and focus on that. Focus on that micro task. Master that micro task. That needs to be your objective. All right. Once you've got your goal laid out, see that goal right now, you're so far from it Sometimes it can feel, even after 30 days, you may have improved very little, but you're still so far from your goal, it can feel discouraging. And so it's very important to focus on the now, the daily task, the manageable, and make it bite-sized and master that. And as you do, you will build upon that, and you will have success and accomplishment of that task and master that, and motivation as a byproduct will begin to develop. Very, very important. Okay, that was tip number 3. Tip number 4 would be consistent. Okay, be consistent. I think this one is an obvious one, but it's important to recognize it is better to do something 15 minutes 4 times a week than 1 hour once a week. All right, you are trying to develop a new habit. And habits are built over time, over repetitive carrying out and execution of tasks. And so it's important that you create that regular, repetitive task completion. So it's very, very important that you do that, but be consistent. Try to do things at the same time of day if you can. You notice with your habits, habits are often repetitive in circumstances, in times of day. So it's very important that you try to develop a consistent occurrence of these tasks when you plan to do them, and then carry that out. Okay, so be consistent. Final tip number 5 would be pull somebody else in. This is really, really important. Pull somebody else in. You've heard it said, if you could have accomplished it on your own, you would have accomplished it already. I believe we have been created as creatures of relationship. We thrive in relationship. We do so much better in relationship. Nothing's accomplished on your own. And when you understand that, with a goal and undertaking, looking to make a better version of yourself, pulling people in is a huge part of that. And I encourage you, find a mentor, okay, an accountability partner. These are different things, but a mentor is someone that's already accomplished this task and someone that's already moved on. But they can provide you so much insight, so much education. They can help lay out a plan of attack for you. Everyone's starting at slightly different places, and so laying out a plan for you specifically is very important. And that mentor can certainly help with that. An accountability partner, someone that's actually with you regularly on this journey, or a buddy. And that's important. People provide motivation, they provide help, they provide insight, they just make it fun. So really, really important. Pull somebody else in. Identify that person that is preferably on the same goal objective as you. That's really, really helpful. All right, so there you go. I'm actually going to throw in here another one that is just a little tip. You may want to create a little 30-second video or 1-minute video of yourself speaking to yourself, all right? And laying out your reasons. Why, Darwin, why is this important to you? And reminding yourself of why you want to accomplish this task, so that when you feel like giving up, you feel like quitting, you feel like, yeah, you know what, I don't really want to do this anyways. When you're in that place and you're just not motivated, play the video of yourself speaking to yourself, reminding yourself. I think that may be a good tip. So the initial part really requires concentration. Like I said, take some time, write all of this stuff out, and put some thought into it. All right, so there you go. Hopefully that helps you. I believe these are great tips that I know if you do them, they will help you accomplish your goals. And I wish you the best of luck.